Hello, everyone. My goodness. Okay, I always have to fix my camera. Okay, that's better. Hi, everyone. Good to see you. Happy Thursday. You guys, it's almost June. What the heck? What is happening right now, right? Like, let's see. All right, I just want to make sure I have my good camera on. This camera makes me look younger. Right? That's the goal. All right, everyone. Hello and happy Thursday. Please tell me where you are tuning in from and what grade level you represent. What grade is your son or daughter? We're talking about all things essays today. And so I'm going to assume that most of you are going to be class of 2026 or at 27. But for those of you who are rock stars, you might even have a freshman rising sophomore class of 2028. So go ahead and type into the chat. Tell me where you're tuning in from. I'm going to just make sure that this light here is shooting the right way. Hang on. Okay. Yeah. We had such a good group last night. It was really great to see so many of you last night. Let's see. So if you are class of 26, it means that you're about to finish school, or maybe you finished school already for the year and you're officially a senior. So, woo, bravo. And when I say you, I mean really your son or daughter, because it's usually the parents that are on. But if there is a student out in the house, please let me know. I think you're amazing if you're here. So, yeah. Okay. I'm going to just pause a minute and just make sure that you can hear me. Can somebody give me a response just so I know that you can hear me? Okay, type into the chat. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Feedback, please. Let me know. Yes. Okay, lost accountant. That's hilarious. I love that. Lost accountant. My God, that's a great name title. Okay, good. Yes, excellent. Thank you so much. All right, so if you tell me what grade level you are, 26, 27, or 28, meaning the grade level that you represent. So, okay, we're going to get started here in a second. Hello, everyone. If you're new and to this family, welcome. So glad that you found us. So glad that you're putting your child's future first. And that's what we're here and we're all about. So I'm glad you found us. I always love to know. There's this one video on YouTube that has gone crazy and has like nearly 40,000 views in just the last 8 weeks, maybe. So we're getting a lot of people who are finding us through YouTube, which, I feel like I've been throwing spaghetti at the wall for many years. So finally something stuck, I guess. So glad you found us. All right, shall we get started? 2026. Hi, Yumi. All right. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. And this is going to be, I like to have a little, give and take. So just be prepared to type some answers in, especially this first little question I have for the whole group. So let me just make sure, share my screen, present, share screen, and we're going to do this. Just make sure. Okay, and if I do that, okay, nope, it didn't do it. Let's try this again. Present, share screen. Okay, now I know what I need to do next. Okay, good. I think this is the right thing. Yes. All right. Fantastic. Welcome, everyone, to 3 essays to avoid and 4 essays that work. So I'm going to give you all the tips today. But first, I want to ask you this one question. How many essays do you think your child will need when they apply to college? So I want you to type a number in the chat. Okay, so just play along with me, please, because this is always so exciting. So go ahead and just ignore me as I tell you my own story, because this might resonate with you. But type your guess, and your guess might be, 1 to 5, maybe 6 to 10, maybe more than 10, maybe more than 20. I don't know. Whatever your guess is, go ahead and just type it in. I'm going to tell you right now that I am Gen X. Okay, and I rolled out of bed, took the SAT one time, and applied to 5 colleges and needed 1 essay. That's what I needed. Okay. So I guess if I were you on your side, I would probably guess 1. That would probably be my guess because that's what I need. So let me see if you've answered. Let's see what answers we have here. So 2, 30, 4 to 6. Okay, I love this. All right, good. I'd love to hear all your answers. So let me go ahead and just give you a sit. So you're sitting down. You're ready. All right. So let's start. If your child applies early action or early decision and happens to be so lucky to get admitted on the early round, meaning that they'll find out by the holidays of their senior year, they may only need somewhere between 8 and 18 essays because for these 2 students, these are 2 from this year, they were like, okay, I'm done. Like Ethan, he was like, I'm done. I applied early decision. It was my first choice. He couldn't apply to any more schools. Maddie, she applied early action to Stanford. So she did apply to a few more schools, but they needed, 8 to 18 essays. Okay. If you're from California in the house, hello, anyone? So Mark applied to exclusively California schools, the UCs, Cal States, some of the privates, including Pepperdine, Westmont, Stanford, etc. Mateo applied to California publics and some privates, and then privates outside of California and University of Washington and Northeastern, other places like that. Okay. Yeah. They needed somewhere between 12 and 28. Mateo might have needed more, but somewhere around there. Okay. 12 to 28. Okay. You ready? For those of you who have sons or daughters who are dreaming of Ivy level institutions, not just Ivy League, but Ivy level institutions, you're going to need somewhere between 48 and 68 essays. I hate to break it to you. So today is all about the essays, my friend. I promise you, breathe. You're going to get through this. Okay. I know. Right? I know. It's crazy. So I'll unpack all of this for you. Who's shocked in the house? Oops. All right. If you're shocked, I don't know what I just hit. Go away. No. I have no idea what I just hit. Okay. All right. So here we go. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you're doing, whatever your kid is dreaming of in terms of where they're going to apply, you are in the right place. Because as I said, if you're like me, you're a Gen X and you probably most likely wrote 1 essay. Maybe you wrote an extra essay if you applied to scholarship, but you probably are thinking to yourself, what in the world is she talking about? So yes, congratulations, you're in the right place to get the right information that you need to get through this process, because no one should have to do it alone. All right. So if you've been wondering, you're thinking, who is this woman and why is she talking so fast? And who is she? Let me give you a quick background in case you're new to the family here. Welcome. This is my mother and I here on the right-hand side. She's the first person I interviewed for my podcast, Destination University, back in 2018. So that's the day that we took those photos. But she is my shero because when I became a senior, I was paralyzed and I didn't know what to do. I began to have imposter syndrome. My dream college was to attend the University of Southern California, USC. And she knew that. I'd been talking about it for years. And little did I know, she had found a person who worked at USC in the alumni programs, and he gave her his card when I was a sophomore, unbeknownst to me, and said, call me when you're ready and I'll help her. Whew, thank goodness Mom held on to that card, and she called him when she knew I said, no, it's okay. I won't apply. I'll just go local to the local state school. And she said, no. She made an appointment and drove me north on the 110 freeway to meet Mr. Raul Vargas, who also became my hero. And because of the two of them, because she had the courage to ask for help like you are here today, it changed the trajectory of my life. Fast forward, after USC, I went on to Columbia University at Teachers College, and that's where I attended and got my master's degree. And I worked at this place called Barnard College, which is a sister institution of Columbia. And because of that experience, I landed my first real job at Vassar College, which is the school that you see here. Vassar College is also one of the original 7 sister institutions. It was once the sister institution to to Yale. And in 1969, Yale asked for her hand in marriage, and she said no, and they both went co-ed at the same time. I had the honor and opportunity to work at Vassar, and I worked in the college admission office where I recruited students from across the country, including states at California, half of Texas, Florida, North and South Dakota, and Minnesota and Kansas. I got to traverse the nation, and here is where I became obsessed with the admission process. I was visiting high schools that to me looked like small colleges. I was walking into sixth grade classrooms or touring in sixth grade classrooms there where they were learning Mandarin and Chinese. And I really understood the power of attending an elite private institution or private institutions across the country and the differences and the discrepancies of knowledge and resource to all of our students. So that's where I became obsessed. And that's why I'm here today to really share all the knowledge I have behind the scenes with all of you. Because I was so obsessed, I did write my first book in 2016-17. This here is my second book, Be Committed, Get Admitted. You can get it on Amazon. It's also in Spanish. And I've done a number of other things to just continue to spread the word about college admissions and the behind the scenes secrets, but they're not really secrets. You can find them. It's just hard to find among all of the information that's out there. Okay, so very briefly, I'm going to just tell you the story of how college admission actually works. So the very quick version is this. In between the months of November and January is when we're reading applications. That's when we're reading. So at first it's early decision applications, but it's all the applications we're reading. And I used to spend somewhere between 12 and 15 minutes. The general rule nowadays is depending on where you apply, that reader is going to have 6 to 12 minutes to read that application. So I would read the file, read the application. I would take notes on your academic qualities, AQs, academic qualifications, and your PQs, your personal qualifications, your PQs. Then I would take that information, tuck it away, and then weeks later we would have committee. And committee meant that all of the students from California were stacked up alphabetically by school group and then alphabetically by student. So all of the students from Palo Alto High School, we would go through all at the same time, one at a time. I would present the notes to the committee. I'd say, this is Stephanie, or this is Randy, and this is da-da-da. And I'd give the highlights, AQs and PQs, and then the committee would ask me questions for about a minute. And then without words, we would vote with a red, a yellow, or a green index card. And that was the end of the day. So no words, voted, majority ruled, and then we moved on to the next applicant. Ta-da! There you go. That's all you need to know. Okay, so what does this have to do with essays? What this mostly has to do with essays is that you have to understand very clearly, and I'll go into some of this today, is that most of the pool, no matter where you're applying, if you're applying to a top 100 college, and I dare say a top 300 college, any college that's admitting under 50% is selective. Any college that's admitting under 30% is more selective, and any college under 20% is the most selective. And then you've got under 10, which is the elites. Okay. So any of those colleges, it's not a shoo-in. So they're determining who among the pool that is mostly qualified academically, who they're going to take. So therein lies the problem. The problem with essays. Let's get down to it. Are you ready? Okay, you came here to learn what are the 3 most common topics. So here they are. Take a screenshot, write them down, tattoo them to your brain. Here they are. Athletics, community service, and the 3 Ds, death, divorce, and devastation. I promise you these 3 topics are more common than you can imagine, or maybe you can imagine. And even when you can imagine that they're pretty common, students still write these topics, okay? I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying it's super rare for any of these topics to be done well, that they add value to the application, okay? And that's the point. The point is that your essay should add value, not just be there. I think about these 2 essays that are athletic essays technically, but not really. Here on the left, we have what we call the dolphin essay. And this student was a swimmer. And the essay is really about his escapades shaving all the hair off his body so that he could shave 4 seconds off his time and be able to swim like a dolphin. Okay, that's the point of his essay. The Kobe Bryant essay, Kobe Bryant, weaves the story of his love for Kobe Bryant and the GOAT and being the best, watching the best on television, Game 7, and being in the surgery room watching what he believes is the GOAT of surgery tackle this surgery. It's beautifully woven together. It is in the Kobe Bryant essay is in the 10 sample packet. So remind me, I'll give that link to you at the end. Okay. So again, it can be done. One of these topics can be done well. It's just very, very rare, and it takes a lot of guidance to do so. Problem number two. Problem number two is that the essay is not an English paper. That is one of the biggest mistakes that students make because you've been trained for so long on how to write an English or a research paper with a topic sentence, a thesis statement, and sort of a formulaic way to write the essay. Say what you're going to say it, and then repeat what you're going to say. And that's just wasting too much valuable real estate in the essay process. Instead, what we do with our students is that we focus on these 4 topics instead of just the one. Remember, we all agree that the one personal statement of the long days ago, Gen X, doesn't work anymore. We're really looking for a cadre of essays. This is the arsenal. Who am I? What am I good at? What's something cool about me? And why this major? We focus on these 4 for so many reasons, which I'll go into here. But the goal I want you to understand is that the essay should reveal a story that only you, your child, the applicant, can write. It should really be something I cannot find anywhere else in the application. Let me give you a few examples. The McDonald's essay is also in the 10 packet essay. The McDonald's essay is about the boss waving him over, and he shows him the profit and loss sheet. Okay. And that's where he discovers his love of business and wants to major in business. The Michael Jordan shoe collection is an essay about the loss of someone in his family who leaves these shoes, and he starts to buy the shoes from his aunt to help pay for the funeral services, but also reveal that he's also finding a way to carry on this legacy of his cousin. The military essay. She reveals how she basically has the desire to break the mold of her father's side of the family and become the first female colonel in the Army after a long line of male colonels only. Okay, I'll share with you where each of these students have been admitted in just a second. The microphone hog essay talks about the podcast that she started and the growth of her leaning in and not being too worried about that silence when she asks a question and there's the 3-second silence. She continues to feel the need to fill that silence, but as she grows through her podcast, it gets less and less. Okay, so let's go back. The McDonald's essay, that student was admitted to Cornell, Georgetown, and to Northwestern. The Michael Jordan shoe collection, he was admitted to his first choice, Rice University. The military essay was admitted to West Point, UCLA, and to Harvard. And the microphone hog essay, she was admitted to Cornell, UPenn, UVA, and she's at Princeton now. So how do you become a party of one in your essay? That's really the key. So really good, savvy families know and understand that this is not a writing assignment. It's really about a winning strategy. So let's break this down for everybody, okay? Why do these 4 essays work? And I'm just going to give these another, in case you didn't take a screenshot, you're welcome to take a screenshot now of this slide here. So the question is, why do these work so well? Well, when it comes to college admission, I already told you that most of the applicants are equally qualified academically. So what this is really doing is it's helping to be the tiebreaker. Really, I lost my nose. It's helping you win by a nose, meaning that in a sea of perfect GPAs and perfect test scores, it's really the thing that wins out. And you have to think the gold medal is won by fractions of a point or fractions of a second. The Kentucky Derby won by a nose. So that's what this is doing. It's helping to give you the edge over someone else who's equally qualified. The 6 to 12 minutes, I shared with you the exact story as to how few minutes, under 15 minutes, a stranger is going to decide your fate and your future. And so you don't want to leave any of this to chance, quite frankly. You just don't want to. It's not, there's too much writing on it. So you have less than 15 minutes to help to grab the hearts of the reader, to stick in their mind, and to help them root for you, right? This is not an English paper. This is really about a sales pitch. And most people don't like to talk about the reality that the college admissions process is a business. The college admission industry is a business, and students are part of that business. So this is a sales pitch, and you want to think to yourself that the English paper is where you are taught how to analyze other people's stories, where the college essay is about selling your own story. So the storytelling here is with a purpose. It's meant to say, pick me, and why you are the best for their campus. The essays are also meant to help maximize choices. And now, for me, I always say to parents, like, your only job is to help your child set them up for success and make sure they have choices that they're happy with, that they're proud of by the end of this road, by the end of this journey. But many families are also looking to maximize scholarship dollars. So it's not just about getting admitted to top and dream colleges. It's about, like, show me the money. Like, that is real. And that happens when you turn in really great essays that capture the hearts and stick in the minds. Okay, missed opportunities. Yes, I did live in New York, so this resonates with me. I would miss a train far too often. So if for students who treat this like an assignment and that they have a deadline, and we know this, everybody, there's not too many teenagers that are not procrastinators. So by treating this like a written assignment that has a due date, and you wait to the last minute, it's just too much that you have writing on it, and it's too much to lose. It's too stressful, and students end up submitting safe essays, quick essays that are actually, quite frankly, they're forgettable. So it's too stressful and too costly, and we don't want missed opportunities. You don't want missed scholarship dollars, and you don't want missed dreams. No, not on our watch. So the 4 winning essays, as I said, are these 4. So why do these 4 in particular, why are they so good? And why have, after over 20 years of doing this and being in this business, why have we continued to stick with these 4, what we call our signature core 4 essays? Here are the 5 reasons they work. Well, they are the Swiss Army knife of the college application process. The who am I, what am I good at, what's something cool about me, and why this major. These 4 topics can be repurposed again and again, 60 to 80% for all of the supplemental prompts. So remember, I asked you, how many essays do you think you'll need, or your child will need? And the answer is somewhere between 18 and 68 essays. If you're here and you found me, that tells me already that your child is dreaming of at least one top 100 college. And I dare say they're dreaming of at least one top 50 and one top 25 college. Am I right? So they're going to need many essays that the best thing to do is not to reinvent the wheel, but instead to repurpose those that have been vetted before. Second reason is turning the overwhelm into strategy. This is by having this cadre of essays, it prevents them from staring at the screen, at the computer screen, 68 times and thinking they should start from scratch 68 times. That is not the right thing to do. It is a waste of time, and you'll never get done. Think about the hours that you would need to spend if you wrote 68 new essays. So these prompts that then we see, tell us more about yourself, or why this major, or whatever the prompt is, we teach them how to use this set as a plug and play. Stories that stick. Okay, I showed you some examples of stories that stick in my mind, even to this day. The McDonald's essay, like, that was written years ago. The Kobe Bryant essay, also written years ago, but still they stick in our minds. So these are not just drafts, they're diagnostic tools. They reveal ideas that are best for each student. We don't use cookie cutter, essays. We don't teach cookie cutter essays. So these are reoccurring themes that are personal to them. And each of these essays has the power, and when done well, has the power to win by a nose. The authentic voice and confidence. Okay, this is my favorite because every year people ask, like, what's the key to the essays? And someone out there says, you have to be authentic and be genuine in your essay. Teenagers have no clue what that means. What does that look like? In our classes, we actually teach them, not only teach them what to do, but we show them how to do it and give them good examples. So students finally see that they do have plenty of content to write about. In this core 4 process, it silences the I have nothing to write about, I'm not that interesting. That myth goes out the door after even just day 1 of our essay boot camps. So it turns their self-doubt into self-belief. And isn't that the goal, right? To get them confident and get them built up well before senior year even begins. Number 5 is building the essay muscle. Like, okay, so early birds get the worm. So I don't know about you, but anything that I've ever wanted to do and to learn and to try. I remember my first half marathon. I've never done a full marathon, but I've done several half marathons. And I remember the first time I had to do it. I had to, you have to get the equipment. You have to read up on like what your nutrition should be. What are your workouts? How many miles are you supposed to run? And what days of the week you're supposed to run? How many days do you space out? What stretches do you need? You need all of the tools in your tool belt to set yourself up for that marathon. And this process is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So building that essay muscle early, the earlier the better. If you're a rising junior, more power to you. If you're a rising senior, yeah, this is the time. So building the essay muscle helps to make sure that even when fall comes, those extra essays that they may need to write along the way, it makes it 5 times easier, 10 times faster than trying to do it from scratch. Okay, take a screenshot of this, tattoo it to your brain, tattoo it to your head on the fridge. Students aren't rejected, applications are. This is one of the key lines of my TEDx talk to the TEDx talk called College Admissions is Not Fair. So this is so true. And hopefully it makes you breathe of like, yeah, okay, it's not my kid that's being rejected. It's what's on paper. What gets written gets reviewed, and what gets reviewed gets voted on. Okay, those are the steps I taught you at the very beginning. I read the application. I took notes about the application. I presented my notes from the application, and then they voted. That's it. Okay. All right. So this is not just about better sweatshirts. Like if you're here, your child is dreaming of something bigger for themselves. Okay. A top 100 college, out of 4 million seniors that will graduate, 2 million of them will apply to 4-year colleges, and only 125,000 students will enroll as freshmen at a top 50 college. Your child is trying to become top 6% of that 2 million. Okay. Like it's not just about the better sweatshirt, right? Like these kiddos. The sweatshirts and the bumper stickers and all the things that come along with this, which is fabulous. It's so great. But it's about the better everything. Better networks, better opportunities, better graduate schools, and increased projected lifetime value of the earnings. All of these things come before you even open your mouth. When you say, I go to fill in the blank, like it says something even before you walk in the door. You don't have to be superhuman or the valedictorian or the next Mother Teresa or a recruited athlete or have a billionaire's last name. Okay. These are some of the students we've worked with over a couple of decades now, and it works as a team-proof, battle-tested formula. So it is possible. You just have to be willing to put in the work. Okay, so I'm going to pause there here for a quick second just to check to see if there are any questions. And then I'm going to take up just a few more minutes to talk about the essay boot camp and why it should be a no-brainer. So let me just check to see if you have any questions so far. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, get your questions ready. Hi, Carol Ann. And she probably already popped off. All right. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share with you our College Essay Bootcamp. This is how we work with our students and why we get the results that we do. So I'll walk you through that. It will be just a few more minutes, and then you can ask me anything you want. I'm an open book. So let's begin with number one. The number one reason why most students enroll in College Essay Bootcamp or their parents enroll them is basically this: 5 days, no homework, maximum output. I once had a student who the mom, I had been saying, your daughter's got to enroll in essay camp. And they didn't. And then so they went on a big trip over the summer. Mom came back and she said, she spent 20 hours drafting her personal statement. Will you take a look? And I said, sure. And I thought to myself, oh, here we go again. And I took a read and I said, it's just, it's not that it's good, but it's not great. Anyway, she signed her up. She got in the class, and in 5 days, that kid produced 6 essays and never actually ever used the essay that she had already spent 20 hours. So the same 20 hours that camp is, she produced 6 essays that she used over and over again versus the 1 essay she produced on her own that was no good. So that's number 1. Number 2, this is my favorite. The 2 is having a personal coach plus the group momentum equals magic. So every student gets a one-on-one coach in essay camp. That coach has no more than like 4 to 6 students for the week. Okay, very small student to counselor ratio. And there's this collective energy of like everyone in the room, whether you're on Zoom or literally physically in the room, there's this like everybody's doing the same thing. Have you ever been to like, I like to work out, and I like group, like going to like the step classes and the cardio classes, because I'm like, hey, I'm competitive. Like I'm like looking over there going, whoa, if they're running, Orange Theory, they're running at a 6, I can run at a 7. If they're running at a 7, I can run at a 9. It's competitive. So that group momentum really gets everybody going, and it's magic. It's like being in an AP class, but having your own tutor and cheer squad. Like it's genius. I didn't think it would be, but it works. Number 3 is saying goodbye to summer stress. So what do we mean by that is like, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like to be stressed out with time or feel under pressure. And so with the fall, especially if you're a rising senior, the fall of senior year, you will have a meltdown. Your child will have a meltdown at least one time. It might not be public, like meaning in front of you, but like they will have imposter syndrome, they will have a meltdown, they will like be stressed out, all of the above. And so you don't want that last minute panic to happen in October. So boot camp really gives families peace of mind. It gives the students a head start in front of their peers. And so it really turns confidence really replaces chaos. You don't want chaos. You want to avoid chaos at all possible. Number 4 is from blank page to yes letters. Okay. Again, to use the 68 again, like you don't want a blank screen. Like it's just painful. So we've helped students craft their winning essays that help them get into Harvard, to Stanford, USC, UCLA, Duke, and also even have full ride scholarships. We've had students who've given up a Harvard and a Yale to get a full ride, or decided against going to Berkeley to go to the University of Dallas because he knows he wants to go to medical school. So saving the money. Lots of things that have come from just taking the time to write a really great essays. Okay. Number 5 is what all parents want to know. What is the ROI, Dr. C? It is the ROI that you dream of, whatever you're dreaming of for your ROI. And if you don't know what ROI is, return on investment. Yes, there is an investment, obviously, to enroll in essay camp. The ROI for many families is, of course, where does my child get in? Will they have an opportunity to 5x or 10x their chances of getting into their top 3 colleges? The answer to that is yes. Like, even if you did half of what we told you to do, because not only do you get essay camp, you get this whole video tutorial library of goodness and great information. So if you just drink all the Kool-Aid, even if you just like listen to half of what you have, plus go to camp, they're going to 5x their chances. guaranteed. So that is one return on investment. The second return on investment is, as I mentioned, many of our students, without trying, get merit dollars by having great grades, great test scores, and great essays. So just by reading their application, they're offered merit dollars on the back end. So their letter of acceptance, tripping over my words, will come with a letter saying you've earned, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 per year in merit dollars. If you're not familiar, merit money does not need to be paid back. It's not need-based loans or anything like that. It's merit-based. Okay. And the third ROI is, I think this is the best one that you can't put a price tag on, but most parents simply want the peace of mind that their child feels confident going through this process, because it's very scary, even if they don't admit it. It's heart racing. It's scary. It's nerve wracking, because it's the stress of, like, you're putting yourself out there to be rejected. I mean, like, let's call it what it is. So I think most families simply want their child to go through this process and feel confident about themselves, have good self-esteem, know that they put it all out there and gave it their complete best, so that they don't have any regrets on the back end. So anyway, whatever your ROI is for you, is really what we're able to do. Okay. So if that is enough for you to say yes, if you're a rising junior or rising senior, I definitely recommend it. If you're a rising junior, I will say there's always a few rock stars a year. I wish there were more, because you learn so much about the process. You get in the zone of knowing what it means to write about yourself. So lots of good reasons to get a head start. These are our locations. Any of them you can join virtually as well. Those of you who stayed to the end, I'm going to give you a coupon code that expires tonight. I gave it last night. So if you were here last night, it's the same for last night's presentation and tonight's as well. So again, you can come to any of these virtually, but if you want to join us live and in person, that's super fun too. So you may want to take a screenshot of that or get your calendars out. Okay, I'm going to pause there because I want to be able to answer questions. I will say I have a VIP client who's strongly advocating for the last week of July. And so I'm probably going to add it to the calendar, because we try to bend over backwards for our VIP clients. So we're going to likely add that will be in Los Angeles. He's here in Los Angeles. We've got VIPs this year from Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Indiana, Arizona, up and down California, New York. What am I missing? Yeah. I feel like I'm missing some. Oklahoma. We just signed an Oklahoma girl. Yeah. All right. I'll pause here to see, and I'll take your questions. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. I'm an open book. Happy to answer anything that's on your mind. Inquiring minds want to know. Let me give you the link to the essay bootcamp to sign up. And I'll walk you through this page as well, so you can see the price and what we do. Okay. Okay, so that is the link to register. So let me walk you through a couple of things just so you are aware. And what's on the page is our signature program. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Hang on. Share screen. Share screen. And what I want to share. This. Okay. I think I'm doing this right. So this is the link that I just shared in the chat thing. And you could scroll down, and a lot of this is what I just went over right now. So here are the two packages that you have here. So on the right-hand side is the essentials packet. If you have a son or daughter who is applying to a top 300 school or several, and you think they really will only need about one, maybe two essays, and has the wherewithal to do it on their own and watch the videos and follow along, we're welcoming anybody who signs up for the essentials package. You're welcome to sit in on any of our boot camps. You can sign up for one boot camp and sit in to do the live course, but you won't have a coach. Okay. The value really comes in our signature package. This is our basic package. You can upgrade from here, but this is our basic package. It comes with obviously the 5-day where you get your own personal coach. And at the end of day one, students leave having written 6 to 7 mini drafts. And then their coach will review those and tell them which ones are working best. And then they build on those essays. They build on 3 to 4 essays for the rest of the week, getting to those core 4. So this is our essential. This is our signature package. We have an elite package and we have a VIP package. If you're looking for more, certainly welcome to do that. And you can book a call with me so we can figure out which package is right for you. You can also just go ahead and book this, and then we can upgrade you from there if you want to do that. Okay. So this is what you're going to do. So if you go here and you click on Get Admitted Now, boom. You're going to type this code, coupon code. Ready? It's coming. It's just type the word ready. Because if you are ready, let's go. Listen, if you're class of 26, you are less than 6 months away from applying to college. Yikes. So that's going to come really, really quick. And it'll be here before you know it. So I highly recommend, don't put off. My mom used to say, don't put off for tomorrow, which you can do today. So take advantage. That coupon code does end tonight. And so ready is the coupon code. READY. 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 Okay. That will save you $500. Again, that coupon code ends tonight. Okay. So that is that. And I want to show you the other part. Let's see. My son is a rising sophomore. When should he start seriously looking at writing essays? Stephanie, well, there's a kiddo that was on the screen here. He was at UVA. There, we've had a student that's that age that started with us, and he started like, I don't know if drinking the Kool-Aid is a bad thing. I think it has this bad connotation. I need to come up with a better thing. But Malik started with us at the end of freshman year as he was a rising sophomore and started looking at all the videos. So I'm going to show you what those videos, he started coming to our group coaching. So this includes a group coaching that happens every 2 weeks, and he can take advantage of one of the essay camps now. You can save it and put it off until next year. That would certainly, we could make that work. But let me also show, oh, sorry, I'm sharing my screen. Stop. Present. I'm going to share this other thing. So the secret advantage that I don't talk about so much, or maybe I just don't talk about it as well as I should, is signing up to become part of our family. And we call you campers. These are our campers. Means that you come into our fold, and Sunday is our next group coaching. So every 2 weeks on Sundays, we have a group coaching call. So like this week, we have a guest. Sometimes we have just a do it, like get something done workshop, but we have different things that happen on those coaching. And it's usually me that's leading those calls. Not always, but usually me. You also have access to what we call a college application bootcamp. It's an entire library of video tutorials. So if you have a son or daughter, especially that's, no matter what school you're attending, you're not likely getting the attention that you need before junior year. And if you're at a public school or a Catholic or like a Christian school, you're probably not getting the attention you need ever. Like, it's no judgment. It's just the way it is because of the amount of students. So this here walks you through everything. So if you were a VIP client of mine and working directly with me, these are all the things I do with my VIP clients one-on-one, but it's all been recorded. So it's basically like having me in your living room without the cost. Okay. So there's module 1, then there's module 2, the academic plan. So both the parent and the student get access to this video tutorial. It's everything. If you've been searching online for like, how do I write the teacher get teacher recommendations? How do I, make a passion project? If you've been searching for all those things, those are all here in an order that you need them and the information that is relevant to you to help maximize and leverage your chances of getting in. So stop searching, stop spending hundreds of hours. If your time is precious, like most people's is, this is all you need. So you get this, plus you get the live group coaching, plus you get a live one-on-one coach for those 5 days. That's just our basic package. It goes up from there. Okay. So again, I don't always share this as well as I should, but it's important that you know all of the resources you get. And I share that because when I worked at Marymount High School, the private girls' school, that's what we did for our girls. We would start going in to tell them what to do since freshman year. But that's a private independent school that costs more than $50,000 a year to attend. I don't say that to impress you, just to impress upon you the amount of resources available at a school like that. So if you're looking for the kind of value that you would get if your child attended a high school that costs more than $50,000 a year, that's what we deliver for $6,000, less than $6,000. Okay, so if you can understand that value, then you get it. Okay, all right. Maria, you're welcome to make an appointment. We have some partnerships with some schools, but it's very few schools. So it depends on what you need. There is some investment, but you can make an appointment to see you can tell me what grade your child is. But we have worked with students at public, low income, and Catholic schools, and it's either usually paid for by the school, or it's a nominal fee from the family, but there is a fee for investment, right? I believe in having some skin in the game, but make an appointment. And I don't know what your situation is, but if your son or daughter is the right fit for our programs, we might be able to make something work. Then sometimes I have donors who donate money to help somebody. It's happened. Thanks for asking. Okay, what else can I do? Okay, Stephanie, does that help? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. All right. ¿Qué más? What else can I answer for you, my friends? Let's see. Oh, I said I was going to give you, let me get you the link to the free sample essays. I'm going to give you 2 things. So we've got to make this easier than this, but okay. So here's the free sample packet. So you can get a sense of like what we do or how it all works. So you can copy that. It's here, let me show you this. drcynthiacullen.com/10-sample-college-essay. Okay, so that's one thing. I'm going to show you. Okay. If you're, so here's something else. This link is a purchase link. It's to purchase a smaller. I'll show you what it is. Okay, so that link, this one here, is for this. I'll share my screen and show you what it is. Okay, It's the 40 plus winning student essays admitted to top 100 colleges. So some of, not all, but some of the essays that I shared with you today in picture form are in here. So if we go to, how did I do this before? Search. Military. Okay. So here is the military essay, in full, if you wanted to read the military essay. Okay, so that's one. I don't think that one's in here. Oh, the cheese essay. Cheese essay is in here. This is one of the more famous ones as well. So, anyway, these are sort of next level essays. The 10 sample packet will give you the McDonald's essay. It will also show you the Kobe Bryant essay. But these are like, you're going to find some Ivy League essays in here in this packet. So if you're still thinking like, does this really work? Will it work for my student? You know, can my kid write these essays? I'm going to tell you right now something that the Kobe Bryant essay, I actually don't remember the kid's name. It was a while ago, but this kid was no Ivy League kind of applicant at all. He was just a straight, solid B plus kid. And actually, do you want to see the essay? How it looked when it started? Do you want to see that? So I say this story because the essay is so well done, but he just was coachable. He just took an idea and sort of ran with it. So if you want to see it, let me know. Maybe I can find it. All right. Other questions? So anyway, so that that link will take you to, you can purchase that extra packet of like, those are essays that are, it's gold on the ground. I mean, they're all great. Let me see if I can find that essay. Would that be helpful? Talk to me. Yeah. Talk to me. Okay, let me ask you a question. What's one thing you learned today? What is one thing that you heard me say today that's stuck with you about this process? And while you type that in, I'm going to see if I can find the Kobe Bryant essay, meaning like what it looks like from start to finish. Where is that? Here? Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay. When I don't get comments, I'm like, did I not do a good job of sharing? So I don't mind. I like to, improve my skills and presentation, and making sure you have the information you need, but I just need some feedback. So let's do Kobe Bryant. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Is it this one? Okay. Thanks, Maria. Thanks for the feedback. Okay, so I'm going to show you two essays because I just found, while I was searching for the Kobe essay, I found the military essay, the Harvard essay. Which one do you want to see first? Yeah. All right, let me walk you through the Kobe Bryant essay, because actually the Kobe Bryant essay is actually harder to do. We call it a two-dimensional essay. So anyway, for what it's worth, I'll walk you through, and then if I don't have any more questions, I'm going to just go ahead and walk my little Elvis and call it a night. Okay. All right. So here we go. Share screen. Is it this one? Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So let's see. So I'm going to go to the bottom here. So here's draft one, day one, draft one. And this is a little bit of what we do in class. Like you have to do the what, the why, the memory, and like all these things. So he starts writing this here. Talent and skill are two completely different things. For example, LeBron James is probably the most talented basketball player of all time. Not the most. I'm already bored. I don't even know what's going on here, and I don't want to read it. It's about athletics. Bored. Okay, but I kept reading. I was his coach that year, and so my feedback here says, okay, I'm going to free flow here, knowing that very, very little about basketball, and less about surgery. But here's what I think you should do. I think you should make this table and label surgery and basketball. So I start free flowing here and write all the terms of basketball. Actually, no, a thing or two about sports. So all the things about basketball, and I want him to fill in things about surgery that would be synonymous or like as close to those things as possible. So it was just an idea, you guys. This literally, I can't, like, it's amazing what happened. So what you're going to do is write an essay about shadowing with this doctor, blah, blah, blah. And so I give him some instruction of like, here's an idea. He took this idea and literally ran with it. And so step two, draft two, he writes a little bit more, and he's kind of getting there. He's kind of getting the idea, but he's not quite there yet. Okay, I'm going to just kind of scroll through. So my feedback is, okay, the above is good. You did a good job. But now I need you to write this very smoothly. Go on, describe your day, have the content here, keep going. And the end of the essay, you can end with like the gold and purple lab coat. Okay, so let's, I think that's it. Oh, here's the short version. Yeah, let's just read the short version because we don't have a lot of time. As I watch him fly through the air, Kobe is about to secure the 5th championship ring, having spent his entire career wearing purple and gold. His secret? The court is his temple where he worships the net. Kobe's work ethic inspires me to become the best doctor and one day conduct surgery with as much dexterity with my scalpel as he has with a basketball. 7 years later, I was introduced to Dr. Anda by my father. I shared an interest, blah, blah, blah. Okay, he goes on. This paragraph here is friggin' gold. It goes here. Dr. Anda settles into his pre-game rituals, gathering his teammates, checking his tools, and reviewing the patient. I change into a borrowed set of scrubs and become Dr. Anda's greatest spectator while sitting in the stands. Dr. Anda dribbles, grasping his scalpel, and shoots the basketball, making an incision. Starting to open the stomach, passing the scalpel, a technical foul was committed by the first-year attendee, so Dr. Anda must rebound and revamp the incision. With 3 seconds left, Dr. Anda shoots a three-pointer to win his game. Success. That was better than watching Kobe's Game 7. Flattered by my comment, blah, blah, blah. He goes on. And then at the end, he says, I want to watch more surgeries. I am growing into the consummate worker. I might be a rookie, but I can't wait to learn the craft and hone the skill of the scalpel. I will figure out a way to surpass the most skilled of surgeons, and one day will wear my purple and gold lab coat. Stop it, you guys. I get chills still just thinking about this kid who's like literally a solid B kid. And where he was admitted, again, like this is so flash in the pan, so long ago. He got admitted to one of the UCs. And I remember at the time, all I could think was, wow, like he got into whatever the UC was. It was above his pay grade. I mean, it was just amazing. So, okay, that's his essay. Okay, can I get an amen? Tell me what you remember. Type that into the chat, you guys, while I go over this one. Do you want to hear the next one? The military one? Yeah, Stephanie, the other secret is that in the after, we do essay writing from 9 to 1, and then we take a lunch break. And then actually the truth is from 1:30 to 3, since we already have them captured, we go over all the pieces of the rest of the application. So we do the resume section. We talk about college majors and college lists, how to research them, demonstrated interest, what to do in advance, how to interview, all of the pieces. Yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking. Okay. I know, Evelyn, I know, right? Okay. If you can indulge me, or I can indulge you, I can show you this other essay if you want to hear the other essay. Yeah, no worries, Stephanie. There's so much to learn, and the best way to do this process is to become a student of it and just soak it all in and just get better at it. Just like anything, just like becoming a better basketball player, you just got to put in the time. Like that's it. So there's no magic. Just you got to get better, just like everything else. All right, you guys. So here is the military essay. Okay. So this is what she sent me to begin with. I wake up to find the early morning sun peeking through the blinds of the tiny room I share with my sister, willing my eyes to open. The sound of the chirping birds and the stark contrast of the croaking frogs. I had fallen asleep to I'm okay. Again, I'm already bored. I can't even get through the sentences, you guys, like us, even today. Every time I read this, which is not very often, I'm like, oh my God. So you can imagine my eyes rolling in the back of my head when I first read. The mom was like, can you read her essay? I think she needs help. And I'm like, yes, she does. So anyway, the essay goes on. Nothing's wrong with this essay. Let me be clear. There's nothing wrong with this essay. It's well written. It's well done. It's just not helping the application. It's not adding value. It doesn't say anything much about her. Like, it's just not. Okay. All right. All right. So then this is my feedback, but let me just get to the point here. All right, so I'm going to kind of skip around here. And if you buy the packet, you'll be able to read the whole thing. I jolt awake to a sharp cadence accompanied by the lyrics of Gory, Gory, what a hell of a way to die. Seconds later, my sparkly alarm clock emits a light-hearted chime. The cheerful jingle is the wake-up call I'm meant to hear, yet I'm drawn to the gloomy beat that seems to come from a separate world. Down the hall, my younger brother has begun his first day of kindergarten and his first day of basic training. He will become the next male to fulfill a familial obligation of a military service that dates back to the American Revolution. I hear my father. She goes on. Okay. Here, by the start of middle school, I had been trained to function within the family honor code. Up until this point, my childlike innocence did not allow me to recognize that although I was indoctrinated with the same values as my brother, I was commissioned solely for a supporting role. With my early adolescence also came the realization that few families abided by the same gender-based traditions of our so-called squad. At home, I began to fade into the background and was schooled to fulfill the same responsibilities as my mother. Contrastingly, involvement from the world outside of my home allowed me to redefine my place in society. She goes on. So in the home, she's confined to traditional roles. Outside the home, she's fighting against that. So she goes on and she weaves in military vocabulary, talking about like her battle and her war. She goes on. With the start of high school, I began to realize that although our family code was flawed, it taught me the values of discipline, resilience, and that currently guide my ambitions. I reject many of my parents' opinions, but from them I have developed a strong sense of patriotism and the desire to better myself. It is because of these values that I am determined to become the first female in my family to join the military. Although I was not conditioned for this path, I seek the freedom to actively express my own beliefs and to prove to myself that I am capable of a life solely intended for my brother. I've continued to abide by the family code, but I have have finally redefined my rank. I have decided to protect the core squad, take action, and become the leader, while at the same time striving to start my own code based on different principles. I mean, this shows it. First of all, it's the story that only she can write. It is literally an essay that is a party of one. And so when you become a party of one in an essay, that is the gold. Okay, that is the gold. So anyway, this was probably a version, and then again in the final packet, you'll see her last version. But it just goes on, and it's so well done. Oh, this must be. I was reading the in between. Oh, sorry. Whoops, I didn't scroll down far enough. This was a better version. Okay. Anyway, we're past our time anyway. So, okay, good. Was that good? All right. Tell me something good. Tell me what you learned, and I'll let you go. All right. Hey, Stephanie. Where are you from, Stephanie? Okay. All right. Well, you all stayed, so hopefully that was helpful. On a scale of 1 to 10, tell me how helpful was today's session. I will not be live next week. We'll run some replays. I'll be in Houston, Texas with a private client there. She's a VIP, so I'm flying out to spend several days with her to get her essays done. So I will not be live next week, but we will have something. So not to worry. It would be a Wednesday, Thursday that we'll replay something. Okay. So if you missed something, just keep an eye out. All right, guys. Well, you guys were an easy crowd today. No hard questions. Stephanie, Maria, I got you. Okay, I'm just making sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome to the family. And I'm that girl who says, remember to be committed, get admitted. I'm going to always give it to you real, raw, and candid with a whole lot of love and rah-rah. I promise. All right. All right. Bye for now. Have a happy night.